Councillor Scott Ainslie, you have 5 minutes.
Thank you very much. I've got a lot of sympathy with what Councillor Walker said. Having said that, looking at Lambeth specifically, it's hard to see how this budget reconciles with the borough plan you talk of. You talk of inclusive growth when people are being priced out of their homes and businesses. You talk of reducing inequality when many of the cuts are inflicted on social care, public health and children. The reductions you've made in public health are greater than reductions in the central government grants. You talk about strong and sustainable neighbourhoods when you starve estates like Cressingham and repairs to prop up a risky bid to enter the property market facing costly legal challenges. I see lots of ideas that haven't been thought through that have the potential to end up costing more rather than saving it. Lambeth have to publish every payment they make over £500 on their website. Up until last week, this was done on a monthly basis. When you look at the 3 spreadsheets for October, November and December, these show that the Mews Town Hall development were paid £3.9 million for 3 months. But according to the new system, which consolidates payments into quarters, shows that Mews were paid £7.5 million from October to December. Which is it? Your figures are completely unreliable. And perhaps of spending yet another £1 million on updating the financial software system, you should get the basics right and make sure that the figures going into the system are robust in the first place. The idea of producing an alternative budget in this context is an oxymoron. So I'm pleased to announce that when the Greens formed the major parity on the council, something that would happen if the Gypsy Hill by-election result were replicated across the borough, the first thing we would do is open up the books to proper and independent scrutiny. There is plenty of pain in this budget for the disabled, who will receive care according to banded payments rather than their actual need. The 35% cut in the youth music service, all for the sake of saving a measly £10,000. The 1.2 million cuts to the youth and play budget. The loss of bed spaces for supported housing, the list goes on. Yet there is next to no mention in this budget of the councils running their contracts more efficiently. By its own admission, the council's government statement of 2015-16 stated that we found significant deficiencies in the control framework for key areas of the housing management function. By the council's own admission, when the mechanical and electrical works were eventually re-tendered last year, the report states returned tenders indicate a saving of at least 5% over final invoices issued for similar works in 2012-13. That's £1 million a year that you are openly admitting you could have saved over the last 4 years. How many more poorly run contracts like this are there out there? The external auditor's report last year stated, we have concluded that the authority has not made proper arrangements to ensure it took informed decisions and deployed resources to achieve planned and sustainable outcomes for taxpayers and local people. Does the council ever listen to its own overview and scrutiny committee? In October 2015, they recommended all council contracts once signed should be public documents. There should be coordinated oversight through a named individual over a whole project, and that new major developments should learn from previous contracts and put in place a clear business system to monitor them. The Overview and Scrutiny Committee raised further concerns over the continued high reliance on agency staff, especially foster agencies, saying, this puts pressure on services and impacts on our most vulnerable clients. The Council needs to move towards a permanent workforce for reasons both financial and of service continuity. The Council should put its mismanagement of contracts and its own workforce in order, rather than review and reduce care packages supporting disabled and frail older people at home, cutting youth service funding by 50%, reducing the school nursing service by 10%, or come up with ridiculous ideas like turning cherished public libraries into gyms that nobody wants. At the October 2015 Cabinet meeting and the subsequent call-in that I made, the concern was raised about the writing of a blank chequebook for the Cabinet members' housing SPV. And we were promised by the lead officer, and I quote directly from the minutes, the cost of the SPV would be put forward in a future business plan. A year and a half later, where is it? We are being asked to sign off a budget with no visibility of how much money is being used from the HRA to prop up this SPV.
30 seconds.
Just last week we learned that Lambeth has the second highest compensation bill for disrepair claims in the whole of the UK, having paid out nearly 11 million in the last 5 years. So bad is the situation that the council saw fit to increase its litigation provision last year by an additional 1 million. That additional 1 million could have wiped out the savage cuts to youth services. The recent peer review highlighted concerns about your ability to deliver on objectives, that you have not brought residents along with you on many projects, and you have a level of corporate disobedience which seems to carry on with impunity. It's time to take a green brew and get Lambeth's house in order.
Thank you.